To celebrate the new year, I am going to go over my top 10 books of the year. I read about 32 books this year, which is a very big downgrade from last year, considering last year I read like 65 books, because I got really into reading last year and I wanted to read all the trending books. But there were still some awesome reads this year, so I ranked my top 10, and I'm just going to go over them with you. Okay, I plugged in my microphone, so that's why the sound sounds different, but my number 10 book for 2025 is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, I think that's how you say it. I picked this one up at Barnes & Noble because my favorite author, Lauren Roberts, said this is her favorite book. And she had very good reason. This book is really amazing. I love the fast-pacedness of it, which is very contrast to Powerless, considering Powerless is very slow burn, but I still really liked it. And I'd probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Okay, number 9 for 2025 is Foxglove by Adeline Grace. I loved the thrill of this one, and I very much loved the romance. I will say this, what it lacked in romance, it definitely made up for storyline and thrill. I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. This one might be a bit controversial, but yeah. And the reason I say this might be controversial is because I love Lauren Roberts, I love the Powerless series, it's like my all-time favorite, but I've never been a huge Kit fan. I didn't exactly favor him in Powerless, and especially after Reckless. I tell you, in the 9 months, or like I waited for Fearless, I hated that man with my whole entire soul. But after reading Fearless, and especially after reading Fearful, I definitely learned to love him. But I feel like if I liked Kit more, this would be higher on my list. But other than that, I give this a 9 out of 10 because I love Lenny and Blair, I loved the story, Lauren delivered. So the reason this is number 7 is because all of the books I have left I just liked more, which is, this is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. The writing in this one is absolutely phenomenal. I don't understand how somebody can write like such a heartbreaking and sad story. Like, oh my god. Again, I think if I liked Lizzie more as a character, because she's never really been my favorite, like, I think this would be higher on my list. I do love her, it's just she's never really been my style particularly, and you know, after reading this book, she's definitely a little higher on my list, but the book overall was still so good, so that's why it's number 7. And I give it like a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. Speaking of Voice of Tommen, or Tommen, I don't know how you say it, but Redeeming 6 is number 6. The reason it's number 6 is just because I loved the story and I loved the characters. I really loved everything about it. It's the second book for Joey and Aoife, and I give it a 10 out of 10. Now we're in the top 5, and number 5 is betting on you. Oh my god. I read this book at the beginning of like 2025, and when I tell you it is one of the best reads I have read all entire year. Lynn always delivers. The story is amazing. The character dynamic is amazing. The romance is there. I really love how she writes like them falling in love with each other. Like, oh my god, she delivered, and that's why it's number 5. I give this book a very big 10 out of 10. Number 4 is Saving 6. Again, I love Joey and Aoife, and I loved the beginning of their story. I loved seeing them grow up together and just how the tension just like was there, and then it finally just like burst. 10 out of 10 book, and that's why it's number 4. We are now in top 3, and this shouldn't even be a question. When I tell you, I got this book a month ago. Maybe it's because it's so fresh in my mind, but oh my dear lord, this book is so good. Oh my gosh. I read it in like 2 days. I absolutely love the character dynamic. This has to be one of my favorite Lynn Painter books, if not my favorite, and I absolutely adore this book, and I give it a very big fat 10 out of 10. My first and second favorite books of 2025, literally, they tie, bro. Not really, but they tie. Both were so good, but number 2 goes to Keeping 13. This book is my favorite, I think, in the BOT series. Oh my god. Johnny and Shannon, forever. Their little cute moments, like them just helping each other. This is what got me hooked on the series, because after reading Binding 13, I was like, bro, this went so slow, and then I caught up at the end, but I was so glad I was given all of the books, because after finishing Binding 13, I literally grabbed this off my shelf and just sat there reading it, because oh my gosh, the cliffhanger, this is like a 15 out of 10. Literally, it's so freaking good. I think we all know what number 1 is. Even if you don't know me, from the hints I've given at this video, I just guess. Do I even have to explain? I have been anticipating this book, like, in the month from March to April. It was actually so surreal because I was waiting. That was the one thing I was looking forward to. Ever since I got Reckless, like June of 2024 or like July of 2024, I don't remember. And I read it so fast. I have been waiting. I waited like 9 months. Hold up, how many months is that? July, August, September, October, November, December, February, March, April. Yeah, like 9 months. And then she came out and she delivered, and it was better than expectations ever could have done. I was giggling through this book. I cried in this book. I was laughing. Oh my gosh. The thing with Lauren is that her writing makes me feel so